All right, everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Jessie Lutz, and this presentation is loading. Tonight, we're going to talk about college survival with Frank and me. So hi, everyone. We're Frank and Jessie. We're the college advisors here in Guilford County and college experts since we both recently graduated from Chapel Hill. Again, my name is Jessie and I'm the college advisor at High Point Central. And Frank, if you want to introduce yourself, that would be great too.
Yes, and my name is Frank. I'm the college advisor at Smith High School. Nice to have y'all here.
Awesome. So we are part of the Carolina College Advising Corps, and I also wanted to note some of our other community partners, including Guilford County Schools, Say Yes Guilford, and CFNC of North Carolina, the College Foundation of North Carolina. Just before we get started, I just wanted to go over some ground rules. So you all are muted right now, and we ask that you all participate in this webinar and in this meeting via the chat. And to keep it PG and to keep it school appropriate at all times. If for some reason it's not appropriate, we have the discretion and ability to kick you out of the meeting, which we will hope we won't have to do, but just keep that in mind to be polite and just have good cyber etiquette as we go through this presentation. I appreciate you listening to my spiel, and we'll go ahead and start. So I just wanted to do a little bit of a warm up. This happens every year in the freshman dorms. Yes or no, can I microwave this? So I'm going to play this with Frank here. And Frank, if you can answer, that would be great. So the first one we have, Frank, is the microwavable mac and cheese. Frank, can you microwave this?
I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. It looks plastic safe. As long as you got no metal spoon in there, you should be fine.
Awesome. It is yes. And Frank, what do you put into the mac and cheese to make sure that it is microwave safe?
You gotta put some water in there. I mean, you don't want to just microwave some dry noodles
Perfect.
with the cheese powder. I don't think that'll work out too well.
Yeah, you don't think that will work out? Excellent answer, Frank. You're doing great. Yes, so macaroni and cheese with water, people. This is really important. The next option is a styrofoam cookout tray. Frank, can you microwave this?
Trick question. You can microwave the styrofoam, but just depending on what else is in there, it might kind of burn a little bit. But it'll cook though. Now, as far as like the aluminum foil, don't have that in there, or you gonna blow up the door. So don't do that one. But overall, everything else should be microwavable.
Good, that is key. So no metal. And that's the next question, Frank. So can you microwave this? Can you microwave like a foil sheet pan?
Not at all. Not at all. Another fire hazard if it's in there.
Thank you so much, Frank. Frank is the expert on fire hazards. So this is really important. No metal. Again, what about microwavable popcorn, Frank?
I mean, hence the name, microwavable popcorn. So it should be good. Just don't leave it in too long. The burnt kernels make it smoky in the room. So you don't want to do that.
Right. So how long do you think you should microwave it for, Frank? Like 5 minutes?
Typically I try to stick around, 2 minutes. Or if you got the popcorn setting on your microwave, go ahead and use that. But it's really up to your discretion, just as long as it's not burnt.
Good, Frank. And Frank, should you be walking away from the microwave when you're doing this popcorn thing, or microwaving in general, or boiling water on the stove?
Yeah, I try to stay close by so you can at least keep an eye on it. I've seen the simplest of things get burned, even people trying to boil water on the stove. So don't be that freshman.
Right. Yeah, that's tough, Frank. Thanks. All right. So the next item we have is a Chinese takeout container. So part of it is cardboard or paper, but the second part on top is metal. Frank, what do we do?
If you don't remove the metal wire from it, then you can't microwave it. Same as the other ones, no metal in the microwave.
Good call, Frank. And the last but not least, the famous, delicious, just hits different in college, cup noodles. What can you do about this?
Come on now. The ramen cup of noodles, it's classic. You got to put it in the microwave. Got to.
Got to. Yeah, it's a must. But what do you need to do, Frank?
Oh, yeah. You got to, peel the cap back a little bit. Make sure you put a little bit of hot water in there and, just let it sit.
Good. So the key is water again. Awesome, Frank, well done. You did a perfect 6 out of 6. Very good. You're a microwave expert. So again, Frank said this. Frank was an RA, weren't you? So don't be that person who makes a whole dorm evacuate because you can't use a microwave. Embarrassing. So this is an example of a fire in the dorm. Yeah, that could be you if you don't add water to your ramen. It's just embarrassing. I won't let my students from my high school leave without knowing this as well. Just please make sure that you're microwaving things properly. We can't stress that enough.
Yeah, it'll be bad if it's 3, 4 a.m. and the alarms go off. You'll be mad at whoever did mess up the microwave.
Absolutely. You're going to be the worst person on that entire floor. All right, so let's go into roomies. I'll take this from here, Frank. So thanks so much for playing again. Can you microwave this? Very good job, Frank. So we're just going to go through uh, roommate situations. There's a lot of options these days, but basically you're going to want to ask some of these questions when you're considering roommates. What do you do in your free time and what are you studying? Do you like to have quiet space or do you like it to be more your dorm to be a social place where friends are always gathering? It's always the fun dorm. Kind of how do you like to live and what are your living situation standards? Another question that you need to be asking is what kind of dorm are you interested in? Do you have a car and how will that work? There's so many dorms and each college is different and there's different types of dorms as well. So you'll have to decide kind of what would work best for you. Where is it located compared to your classes, the parking lot for your car, etc. And a harder question that you need to be thinking about as well are what are your priorities? So what do you value? Studying, sleeping, again, does it need to be quiet? Does it not matter too much? What are your sleeping and study habits? Do you need to study in your room or can you go off to other places? And what do you value? So a lot of roommates have different values or even different faiths, etc. And that could change how you live your lifestyle in a very small space. So if when you find someone, do you want them to be a roommate? You have to make this decision and don't feel bad about turning someone down. This is your life and you want to have the best fit possible to be living in really tight quarters with someone for over a year. So with the roommates, it could be a hit or miss, but try to be open-minded and try to explore people outside of your hometown. They could really help you grow and you get to experience and make a whole new friend group, which could be really great. So we're going to go into different types of dorms, and these are just some examples, and there's probably a couple more that, but these are the most basic ones. For the hall style, you'll need to invest in shower shoes. This is really important. You'll be sharing showers and bathrooms with the floor and the hall itself. And housekeeping will be cleaning those bathrooms, but you'll still need to be respectful. I know in my freshman dorm, the girls' bathroom over the weekends, especially, kind of turned into a bathroom trash Jenga. And so it's really important that you keep the common areas tidy as well for housekeeping, just to be polite and because you're living with lots of other people on your hall. Another style of dorm is a suite style, which means that you will be living with your roommate, and then maybe you'll share a bathroom with another dorm room on the other side. That's typically how it is. So it's usually 4 people to the bathroom. It's a smaller ratio of people who use the bathroom and everything, but housekeeping will come less often if they come at all, and you'll be responsible for more, like providing your own toilet paper a lot of the times, cleaning up your own space. So it's a little bit more responsibility, but it is better. It has its pros because it is less people that you're sharing a space with. And then last but not least is the apartment style. This is typically for upperclassmen, and you'll definitely need to invest in some cleaning supplies. You're responsible for everything. You're basically living in an apartment situation where housekeeping doesn't come in. It's your own space, so you'll need to keep it nice and tidy. So getting around campus, UNC Chapel Hill, where Frank and I went, is huge. So I recommend saving a copy of a campus map on your phone. You can see it on the right. That is Chapel Hill's campus. It's huge. Like I couldn't even fit the whole map in my screen. So getting around campus is important. As a freshman, you're going to have to navigate the land. And I recommend the first day before your classes, look for your classes on campus, navigate the campus, find out where your buildings are, and find out how the walk goes from each class if you don't have that much space in between your classes. Locate the closest dining hall. Where will you be eating? Where's the closest library that you'll be able to study at? You never know when you might need to print something late at night or finish up a research paper or whatever. So, where is your closest library? You'll need to find that. And a large campus, take advantage of the buses. I mastered the busing system and it became a lot easier on my legs to utilize the buses to drop me off from point A to B and to get home because I lived off campus. Practice and use the apps. An example of an app is Umo or Nextbus, and those apps can be easily downloaded on your phone and it will track where the buses are. And again, you'll need to bring nice walking shoes to campus. You'll be walking a lot up and down, especially if you're a first year, because the dorms are typically farther away from everything else. So you'll definitely need some good walking shoes like Hoka's or other running shoes that could help, and comfortable clothes as well. And just one reminder, you do not want to be this one student running late to class on FDoc or the first day of classes. Really embarrassing when you're coming in. Everyone stares at you as you open the door, you're sweating. That couldn't be me. So you definitely want to make sure that you're investigating the classes and how you're going to get around way before your first day of class. So let's just talk about a little bit of the timeline of college. The first year, you're going to set your baseline for your GPA. Just like high school, whatever grades you get this year, this will continue to build. You can't really fix your GPA when you're all the way in your senior year. So the more time you have to build strong grades, the better. Keep this in mind. Just like high school, the GPA is really important. Second and third year is taking more classes in your major and probably more internship opportunities. Many are open to rising sophomores and juniors, and they're looking at a December or January application deadline process. Start networking and keep your eyes peeled. Talk to your professors, talk to your departments, and go ahead and take advantage of job fairs, etc., on campus during your second and third years. I had an internship my junior year and my senior year over the summers, and it was really crucial to networking and getting my feet wet in the career that I wanted to pursue. In the fourth year, you're going to be working on that resume, workforce prep, networking, solidifying the relationships with your professors to get recommendation letters, and finishing your college experience strong, and also beginning the interview process as you finish up your senior year and transition into your next job or career. So one of the things that I didn't really know about when I first went to college is office hours. And so office hours it's an opportunity to meet one-to-one with professors or teachers assistants. And I was really scared to go as an undergrad. I was really shy and I didn't know, like, what if my questions are silly or whatever. You should definitely go to office hours. So should I go? Yes. If you have questions about a topic, this will be a really good time to get clarification and get help. If you don't have questions, which was I was wondering, if I don't have questions, should I go? You should still go to network. If you enjoyed the class, form connections. And again, if you're looking at grad school or a job after college, you're going to need those recommendation letters. Similar to the recommendation letters you get from your teachers in high school, you're going to need those same type of rec letters down the road in your senior year in college. So it's really good to solidify those relationships. And the best way to do that is office hours. Or you could not go to office hours and you will receive no additional help. You will not be able to effectively network and you will not meet professors and suffer in silence. Do not be like me in Econ 101, where I was scared to go. I didn't understand anything and I didn't do well in the class. So definitely advocate for yourselves, take advantage of office hours and any opportunity to network and get help and advice from professors who have been in this field. They're passionate about the field and they really want to help you. So just some other study tips. Go ahead and write down what you need to complete. I love a good to-do list. You're going to want to start with low priority tasks to high priority tasks. And this meme here, please don't talk to me. I have no self-control and will talk to you for 2 hours and get no work done. You should just know yourself. Like me, this is exactly me. If I am in a study group, like at in the chatty part of the library, I'll chat all night and not get anything done. So I would have to go, for me personally, to succeed, I would have to go to the upper stacks in a cubicle by myself in silence to get anything done. So you just have to really know yourself and know what type of learner you are, how you study best, and really listen to yourself and try not to get distracted. So the 25-5 rules can also be helpful. You can study for 25 minutes, relax for 5, and repeat the cycle until you retain that information. Make use of positive reinforcement, like taking a break, getting a snack, getting some fresh air, so that this process isn't as tedious and tiring. Make your own schedule in college, and you get to make your own schedule in college, which is really important. In high school, you don't have really that many choices, and you have to be there all day. With college, if you have the opportunity, try to craft a schedule that will work for you. Try not to have Friday classes if you don't want to be working on Fridays. And if you don't love mornings, don't schedule 8 a.m. classes if you know you'll sleep through. I don't really function until like 11 a.m. So I knew that 8 a.m. classes were a no-go for me. I still had to have some because I was a freshman and didn't have full control of my class schedule quite yet. But it's sometimes the luck of the draw. But if you're able to, try to cater your schedule to something that will work for you. And definitely utilize free campus resources like math tutoring, the writing center, etc. There's a whole learning center, for example, at UNC Chapel Hill. And these are all free resources where you can get additional help, go to office hours, but also use writing centers and other learning centers to get help with studying, or have someone look over your essay. An extra set of eyes on essays is always really crucial to making sure that you're satisfied with the essay that you've created and you're ready to turn it in. And also in college, this is a lot because you're meeting new people, you're living in a new space, you're taking new classes, you're building your own schedule and being responsible for yourself for the first time ever. So it's really a balancing act. And sometimes wellness can kind of get thrown to the side, but this is really crucial to making all of this work. So taking care of yourself should be a priority. College can feel lonely. So this is the first time away that maybe you're in a new place, and definitely it's going to be a new environment with new people. So just be gentle on yourself. Take time to move your body, treat yourself, call loved ones. Like, don't forget to call your mom every once in a while, and just try to be kind to yourself. Hydrating after a long night out with your new friends is really crucial. And go ahead and utilize the wellness centers on campus, and that can include medical assistance, counseling, and resources. At the wellness center at UNC, I took a yoga class for transfer students, and that was really awesome because I got to meet, when I was new at Carolina, I got to meet other students who were also new. And so I built community that way. But it's really important to move your body in a way that you enjoy, and just be kind to yourself, because it is so new and there's a lot of moving parts to college and the college experience in general. I also want to say that I was kind of shy going into college, and so it was lonely, and I was hard on myself to try to make friends immediately. So if you're shyer like me, just be gentle on yourself. You will find friends and you will find your people, but it's not going to happen maybe in in 2 weeks of living on campus. So just be gentle and know that the timeline for making good and meaningful friendships will take time, but it's really worth it. Okay, Frank, I'm going to pass it over to you to talk about paying for college.
All right, thank you, Jesse. Again, my name is Frank Adams, and I'll be talking about a couple other things. So first, paying for college. Now, I will say that there have already been sessions that have went over ways to pay for college, but again, I'll reiterate some of the things you can do, especially in your freshman year. So one big thing is filling out the FAFSA. This is something that you need to do every year, regardless of what the stakes are. If there's money to be got, you should do it. I believe it. The FAFSA is one of those ways. So don't forget to file it. Even if you filed it this year and got financial aid for this upcoming year, you're gonna have to do it for your sophomore, junior, and senior year as well. So please don't forget, when October 1 rolls around, make sure that you go to knock that out so that it's nothing that you have to worry about. Another thing, applying for institutional aid and scholarships at the university. So I'm a big advocate for saying there's money around, you just got to find it. So one thing you can do is, typically most schools have an office for financial aid and scholarships. You just got to find what it is. It may have a slightly different name, but it's all the same thing. You go up there and they'll let you know whether or not they have scholarships available. Also, certain departments have their own scholarships as well. So if you're a nursing student, see if the nursing school has some stuff. If you're a business student, see if the business school has certain scholarships. They should be able to let you know, and they may have grants and stuff as well. And as far as the institutional aid goes, that's the same thing with the FAFSA and stuff. So just making sure that you have all your ducks aligned and that you have everything in a row. Now, if those first two things aren't the money you're looking for, there are other options. Even if you didn't get work study, you can still find a campus job. And it doesn't have to be confined to the campus itself. It could even be off campus nearby. So you've got the campus recreation jobs. You could be up front at the front desk, handing out towels, scanning student cards, just to make sure that everybody's coming in. You got your residence life jobs. So being office assistants in certain dormitories, or even being RAs that, oversee the process and everything of student life in the dormitories. Now, there are other jobs and stuff that you can get on campus, but those are just a couple to name a few. And like off campus, I know for us, we had Franklin Street. There were a lot of people that did work at some of the pizza spots, the ice cream spots they had. So like, there are a lot of different places you can go. You just got to go in and ask. Lastly, you can ask for a loan. Typically you have those on your FAFSA, but there are other options, especially if you have to go to the bank. But like I said, we already had sessions on paying for college with our community partners and everything. If you check the YouTube, you will be able to see that. But these are just a couple suggestions. Next slide, please. Campus involvement. Now, this is a big one. I know a lot of you were well-motivated, well-rounded students, so you did a lot of stuff while you were in high school. The same goes for college. There will be stuff to do, but make sure that there's a limit to it. I forgot to put it up here on the slide, but don't be that freshman that signs up for every organization and spread yourself thin. College is a new thing, and there's a lot to it, from mental health and wellness to grades to campus involvement and being in a whole new social environment. So there's a lot of different things that are available to you, but don't join 5, 6, 7 different clubs. Find, 2 or 3 that you really like and, stick to those. So I'll talk about some of the different ways you can be involved on campus. So first, you have student groups, typically centered around leadership, scholarship, service, and community. And it can be an array of things. So if you're really big on volunteerism and service, they do have different service-oriented organizations. I know at UNC, they had apples that would go out into the community and do things, as well as other ones. So it just depends on what you want to do, but that doesn't service only. There are different organizations that can be for fun. So if you're really big into Harry Potter, they definitely have Harry Potter clubs, especially if, I forget the name of it. Jesse, can you help me out? The sport that they play Harry Potter? I'm not a big Harry Potter guy, but I do know about it.
I think it starts with a Q. Does someone know in the chat? I'm also not. But the ball, yeah, the sport with the brooms. Yeah.
Let's see. What is it called? Quidditch. Yeah, Quidditch. Yep, that's the one. I know at UNC they had a Quidditch club, and they would actually play against other schools. And it was big. It was big. But yeah, there's a lot of different things. Also, you've got different groups and organizations like a cappella groups, singing groups. There's a wide array of things you can do as far as student groups. It's not just, one thing. It's a lot of different things you can do. Next, you have Greek life. And there are 4 major facets of Greek life. So you've got the College Pan-Hellenic Council, the Interfraternity Council, the Multicultural Greek Council, and the National Pan-Hellenic Council. These are four different entities, but they all make up Greek life at different college campuses. With these, I'd say the College Panhellenic Council and the Interfraternity Council, those two, they have more of a formal process for their new membership rush. So if you want to join, you'd have to reach out and see what they do. And the Multicultural Greek Council and the National Panhellenic Council, those two councils, the specific organizations handle their own new membership intake. So you would have to reach out to them as well. But it's a little bit different, but all the same. Greek life, they do uphold some of the same things that student groups do: leadership, scholarship, service, and community. But they have brothers and sisters, and they go about, trying to be good people and show what the great things of Greek life is. Lastly, there are student activities. So even if you don't know what you want to do on campus and you don't want to get super involved, there are other things that happen. At Carolina, we had the Carolina Union's Activities Board that would put on different events for students to attend, from comedy shows to open mic nights to spring concerts. So like, it's a lot of different things you can do that's not just being involved in clubs. But if you want to go out and do different things on campus, there are things to do that aren't necessarily centered around you being a part of a club. So these are some of the ways that you can get involved on campus. Don't stretch yourself too thin, but consider it. All right, another thing, career services. So this is really important. While you're at school, we talk about all the academics and everything, but I don't think that it's talked about enough what you're going to do after school is over with. And I know that y'all will be going into your freshman year, but career services is something that you can take advantage of as soon as you get there. Most schools have either a building or an office designated for career services. Please take advantage of it. From trying to get your resumes and cover letters correct to navigating how you're going to search for jobs and internships. There's a lot of different resources that you can take advantage of in the career services office. So they have specific counselors there that are meant to help you with just this, making sure that your grades are lined up to go to where you want to go to, networking and getting you prepared to do your interviews and whatnot. So I'd say please take advantage of it. Oftentimes they have other things as well, like other resources. I remember while at Carolina, they told us about a couple of different grants that were available for us to get new dress clothes if you didn't have them, or even if you did have them, they had extra available funds to allow people to get new dress clothes to be prepared for the business professional world. So it's something that you go in there open-minded and they get you prepared for life after school. So please take advantage of it. There are a lot of different things that they can do for you, and you want to go out of there taking advantage of everything that was offered to you. You're paying for these services, you might as well use them. All right, so that basically wraps up what me and Jesse had for you all today for your college survival. Thank you all for attending. We will stay back if you have any questions. Oh, thank you for that. Yeah, career services is available after graduation for alumni as a way of networking, resources, and also preparing yourself. And I think after the first year of graduation, some schools do allow students to get those services for free. So that's really big. But like I said, my name is Frank. Jesse is here. And if you have any questions, please throw them in the chat. We'd love to answer them. No problem. No problem. You're welcome.